welcome back to another review for Ninjago Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, Episode 7, Ninja vs. Lava. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as we dive into Episode 7 of the Fire Chapter. So first up, basically this episode, it wasn't bad, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Like, it was story-driven in some cases, but also a little bit of filler. A little bit more filler than some of the other episodes before. It felt kind of unnecessary. Also, this episode probably could have been better if it was part of the previous episode before they got captured, when they freed the sphere. If it was actually connected to that episode, it probably would have been better. Because again, I feel like the formatting makes the episode just a little bit off, including all this like filler, and then separating this from the other episode, which just like the episode where they freed Espia. Like, it would have been so much better if it was connected to it, but because it's separate, it kind of diminishes it. I give it a 6 out of 10, as it was good. Unlike other people who don't like any comedy in this show, they got to remember this is a kids show. It has got a story, it has got some serious to it, but it is still a kids show. Okay, so it's kind of got to have some humor in it, and as long as the humor's not too forced. And this episode wasn't too bad. There were some points, mainly Jay. I feel like though Jay, like in the last few seasons, have been like, they feel like they've dumbed him down a lot. He used to be a lot less cringy. He still had his funny side, but it wasn't this bad. So really, and I like all the characters, and I like Jay, but it's just they kind of make him a little like the joke character, when technically Dareth is meant to be the joke character. That's what he was originally for. Then he apparently became popular and then ended up being more into the series. It's really kind of nearly. But anyway, so basically that it's a 6. I give it a 6 out of 10. And really, the episode was, it was alright. There's some stuff that happens in it, but I'll get to that in the spoiler part of this review. So anyway, that's basically my thoughts on it. Alright, so now right here, this is going to be the spoiler part of the review, so if you haven't seen the episode, which you probably have now, but then again, the way the episodes are aired inconsistently, I'm sure there are some countries in the world that haven't actually seen it. Then again, they probably don't even have YouTube either, because, well, some countries are just saying, there are some countries that haven't aired this episode. But anyway, this is a spoiler part review, so yeah. Alright, so episode basically starts off with them in the pyramid, Aspira's pyramid, chained up, thanks to Aspira, who was giving them, lovely hospitality. She's a great person. Very single-minded. And basically, Kai is unconscious. Jay's reading Clutch's book, and being his usual overly funny self, saying things like bro goo goo. And well, it's not that it's bad, it's just like I got no problems with him. I had no problems with him originally in the original seasons, but it gets a little these days. I feel like they've amped it up way too much. He's to the point of cringy, and basically making it too meme-like, like meme-worthy. And if it's meme stuff, if it can become a meme, there's something wrong. So anyway, that happens. Then they just start arguing, and telling Jay, getting up Jay for remaining too calm in this situation. And I will say, there is a good way to explain why he's like this, though. I've said this in the previous season review, but basically, it's kind of like a coping mechanism. Like, when he's in danger, instead of facing it like they do, his ways, well, the way that happens in the episode, he's not really, he doesn't take things seriously. It's kind of a coping mechanism in, situations like this. That's basically what it is. And I think people don't realize that as well. So I kind of give a thing, but again, still, while he's reading, the torches blow out, so everything becomes pitch black. Then a new light source comes, and it's not good because it's basically lava. And although Jay doesn't realize, because he's like reading that he's really into the book, he eventually does, and also loses the book to the lava. lava burns up the book. With the fate of lava basically, being in the situation, basically the ninjas do eventually escape, but not by the hair of their chin. Sorry, I was trying to. I didn't mean that to come out like that. But basically, that happens when they get off the wall. The lava is basically rising very slowly though, but still pretty bad considering they have to get through a bunch of obstacles to get out. So basically, that happens, and they end up getting through. They arrive at the column that was in the last episode that Cole lifted. And he lifts. Jay notices the lava and basically runs past, pulling everyone along with him, along with Kai and Cole. And because of that, Kai almost gets squished. Like, he literally got so close to almost being. That is. People say the season isn't dark, but I say that's pretty dark. I mean, he was so close. His mask got trapped under there and now it's also being been alive. I wonder how he got his mask back though. Maybe he has a spare one. But I mean, that's how close he was to being squished by that column. I mean, Jay, you really should have thought about that before you ran past. I mean, you almost killed Jay, and the thing is, they had a little Jay co-arguments, which trying to blame each other. But I mean, I would say it's kind of Jay's fault since, he kind of ran past without thinking. Lloyd then interrupts them during their argument and basically gives a speech about how, Wu's right and they have gotten soft and all that. But gets interrupted when lava starts creeping over the column and under it too, because that's the thing. And, then they end up running again because, well, the lava's creeping slowly. I mean, you'd think you wouldn't stop when lava's in the way, but anyway, I would keep moving. I wouldn't have stopped. I would have given the speech once you got it out there. So as they continue through, escaping, dragging Kai behind them, basically they arrive in the snake mummy pit where they actually run into a coffin with a snake mummy, and it falls out, and Cole touches it, and the great thing about this season is the detail in the animation. Sure, maybe the story's a little bit bland, although it's not really bland. It's more the filler kind of diminishes the season a lot in my opinion. The formatting and the filler, the amount of filler in this season is probably what diminished in my opinion. I mean, it's just like, so, but anyway, basically, the detail in the animation is just, it's so good, especially the snakes. The thing I like is the snakes, they are pretty much so detailed. Like when Cole went to touch the mummy snake, like you could see the detail in him touching it. It looked like it looked like if I went in to touch the animated snake, it would feel like snake scales. It really, the detail there too. Lava eventually comes in the room though. I mean, the fact that they stopped in that room again is kind of like, why? Why would you stop? Why can you just keep running? I would just, even if you bump into something, just get up and get out of there. There's lava coming. It may be coming slow, but it creeps out pretty fast. So basically, the lava wakes up the snakes, and all the snakes, it's not normal lava, as the ninjas realize. Jay then also does Spinjitzu, forgetting that they're chained together. And, well, you can probably see where that ends up. Next up is the spike room. The room where Jay kind of was silly and tripped over the booby trap, triggering the stairs to become slides, and they almost got ended up being poked. Like the Explorer we saw, that's also pretty dark, seeing a corpse. They say the season's not dark. I mean, it may not be the darkest season, but it definitely had some dark points like that. But, they get right there again, and how they're going to get up since it's a slide is still to be decided. It's still to be thought out. Somehow, the Explorer conveniently had climbing equipment. You don't get how that works out, but they use that to climb. While they're climbing, Nia makes a remark about Kai's weight, and Cole basically says he's done with cake jokes from Kai at this point because, Kai's heavy, so, that's basically that. Granted, he is unconscious, so he's kind of been weighing them down. It's just because it's more complicated than that, but, let's not get into the logistics. After that, they arrive at the final room, which was also the first room on the episode that they arrived at the pyramid. This is kind of we're doing it in reverse. And, there's no... there is a bridge, but it breaks while Jake tries to run across it because there's obviously thing and he should be more careful, but then again, I think the ninjas actually ran across anyway the first time, so I'm surprised it didn't break on the way over. But anyway, breaks. Thankfully, he was chained to the others, so he didn't end up falling to his doom, but it could have ended badly if he wasn't chained to the others. Jay really needs the problem with Jay is they also make him that he ends up in a lot more dangerous situations than he should. Like, you think at this point he would be smarter now. It's kind of seemed, but anyway, let's not get into logistics things, otherwise that'll be I could go out on for hours. Basically, after that, they get the idea. I forget which ninja gets the idea, but one of the ninjas gets the idea to make a bridge out of themselves. Basically, stand on top of each other and get across. It's a common move in a lot of temple movies or movies like this, so it's not really that unknown. But basically, I do that. Afterwards, they arrive outside the pyramid where they realize that they are doomed because there is literally no way out of the pyramid, no way to leave the pyramid. Like, they got outside, but it's surrounded by lava, so there's no way out. And then they also start chanting, which again, I just like cringy. It's annoying. I literally just, I swear, I'm surprised people haven't been making more memes on that. Pixel then arrives to save them in a chopper, so at this point, obviously, the episode about Nelson, basically, obviously, it's after the point where he told them. They get out, they arrive back at the land bounty where the ninjas wonder how they found them. Technically, didn't they know where they were going in the first place? She then basically says the paperboy told them where to find them. By that she means Nelson. And that, Sphere is attacking the city. Kai then finally wakes up, feeling very sore and wondering why. And the ninjas are hesitant to tell him. I mean, it kind of had flashes of him getting hit all over the place and having his head banged since he was unconscious the whole time. So, and yeah, that's basically the end of the episode. They do their whole, upbeat speech, saying they're ready to get back in the fight and all that. And yeah, that's pretty much the episode. Again, I give this episode a 6 out of 10 because it wasn't bad, just wasn't the best. It's the formatting and the fact that it probably would have been better if it was connected to the episode where they free the sphere, like as one episode. Just, it felt kind of like, I don't know, the formatting and the way it's the formatting that really puts in. It's just, I don't know. So, basically that, and yeah. Anyway, they could have done, with the short episodes, they could have done more. Like, if they had changed, if the formatting was back to normal, they could have done more with that. Like, more with them being chained up, more with the fact that the snakes were waking up. And, they could have done something more with that. Like, ninjas had to do things. Like, it was just them escaping lava. It was kind of bland as a plot. But, anyway, that basically does it. Make sure you like and subscribe and check back every day for more reviews for the Fire chapter and the Arts chapter, which has started this week. Although, I don't know when it's going to happen. I have to actually go through and edit it. But yeah, so I'll be doing them side by side. See ya!